Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Monday. And I'm here with the spirit of Amy Winehouse. We've been preparing for Friday's channeling. So I'm going to be doing a private Zoom channeling of Amy Winehouse this Friday, December 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I asked for a message that I can give you guys today. And currently I'm rearranging my space. I'm always rearranging and redecorating, but I was putting up some shelves and I can't get the shelves to be perfectly centered with the wall that I'm going to be mounting it to. And I was really frustrated about that. So I kept looking at these shelves and like, man, if only I could get it like 1 inch to the right so that it's perfectly centered. And Amy said to me, work with what you have, work with the space, work with the materials that you have. It doesn't need to be perfect as what humans may think perfect is. Isn't it perfect when you get all of the materials to work together to create something that works naturally with the space that you're in? Isn't that perfect? Instead of forcing some type of equal alignment that clearly doesn't work in the space. So that's what Amy is teaching me today, that my perceived definition of perfect, to have something perfectly centered, doesn't necessarily work with the space. And that's beautiful. And I can accept that. I can work with what I have and how the space wants to work with me. And that's beautiful. And that's part of storytelling as well. And that's part of what we do as creators. We are all creators. So work with what you have. And that's not from a lack standpoint, that's from a work in such a natural way that it flows together instead of forcing something to work. I was like forcing this shelf into this little space and I caused a little dent in the wall because I was like, it must be perfect. And that's not natural. And that's not acceptance. And that's not appreciation. So, such a simple example for how we can work with greater things in our lives. So, hello, Claudia. Thank you. Hi, Sinwa. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone receives that message. Does anyone have any questions for me? How are you guys feeling about this Monday? I'm super excited for this Amy Winehouse channeling because we're doing it on Zoom. So you can come on screen with me to have me channel Amy through me. The sound is off. Let's see. There's an echo. Okay. I don't know how to solve that right now. Can you hear me? Is it terrible? What about now? Can you hear now? Sound works for you? Okay, so we're gonna just keep it. I unplugged and plugged my mic back in. So hopefully it's good for now. How is everyone feeling today? Hopefully you guys can go back to what I said earlier about Amy's message, which was so beautiful and so poignant and so simple. And that's how a lot of her messages are. With me, it's just so powerful and simple and relatable, which is why I like to channel these recent artists that have been alive in the last few decades or so, because it's so relatable. Does anyone have any questions for me? It is cold in New York City. I was considering like going on a walk through the park and talking to the trees, like Merlin suggested in Pamela's channeling of Merlin, but it's so cold. I don't want to go outside. I miss the fall. So I think I just need to accept that it's cold now. I just need to put some tights on and dress super warm and go for a walk. How is Amy's energy? When I was initially like adjusting to her energy maybe a year ago or so, she would come through me and speak super fast, like super, super fast. And I was like, whoa, slow down, slow down. I cannot process this. I think because of her particular dialect. And I believe she's from Camden. And so we need to just work together to balance that. But her energy it's light. It's more like a sisterly type of feeling. Very sisterly, like a big sister. So, what are you guys up to this Monday? What was her creative process like? Let's see. She wants to remind you that everyone's creative process is different and that she wants to go on screen with people and assist them with their creative process. But it always began with some method or ritual of connecting with herself and opening herself up in some way. So she's saying like opening up to the void of potential that is within her. And she made sure she surrounded herself with people who could open herself up as well. And she accepted all different types of emotions. So even if someone pissed her off, that's an opening too for her. Put on ski pants and take a walk near the Hudson River. That sounds beautiful. There's some really nice parks around here. So one day I just want to plan to just hang out by the gardens or the park. You have some old pizza crust for the birds. That's sweet. Hi, Helena. So, what other beings would you guys like to see me channel? I have a few beings up my sleeve, but I'm curious if there's anyone that you've been feeling lately. if there's anyone that you guys have channeled yourself recently that you're really excited about. And I'm also open to doing some higher self channeled messages right now too, if you have any questions. Except for me. Are you channeling her, Claudia? Merlin's counterpart. I don't know if Merlin will like me for that. That's interesting. I feel like we should encourage Pamela to do that. Nimoy is, I believe, her name. Athena. What do you feel from Athena, Mary? Like what do you feel from that goddess? What would you like to learn from her? You want to know why Nemo put him in a tree for 100 years? Well, if you watch the channeling, you know he's a little bit irritable, so maybe that's why. I'm just making a joke. Yeah, that's a good question. You've never wanted to put a man behind in a tree for 100 years, though? I have. Fairies. Amanda, like, that would be interesting to channel our personal fairies. I love fairies. So, inspirational rawness strength with Athena. Yeah. I wonder what modern day beings have that aspect of Athena. You know, when I went to Greece last year and I visited some of the ancient sites, and I just didn't feel that connected spiritually to it, the Acropolis and everything. I was surprised by that. Candace has Alvin the Elf in the closet, so Alvin the Elf. Who's Alvin the Elf? You you want to channel Alvin the Elf, Sunwa? So yeah, and Candace Goldman, I believe. By the way, I'm very excited for their channeling on January 1st. I have no clue who Alvin the Elf is, though. So for those who just joined, we're talking about like everyone's giving me ideas on who to channel, and people are speaking up about who they feel is near them as well. And I also channeled a message from Amy Winehouse earlier in the video, and I'm open to answering to channeling your higher selves as well if you have any questions. Alvin from the 80s show. Like that. Was he an alien? Alvin? Now I need to Google him. What am I excited about for December? I feel lots of peace. December feels very peaceful for me. I'm excited about it. Also feels like there's a lot of paths coming together, merging and aligning, and that feels like timelines merging and in the best way. Hopefully that makes sense. But it feels like all of the pieces that we've been working on individually are all coming together. That's the feeling that I get from December right now. So that's very exciting. And I feel that in my personal life, and I observe that from others as well. What are you excited about for December? I forgot my water. I don't know if it's Alvin the Chipmunk. Timelines are converging. I got that message yesterday and asking about the eclipse. Okay, so we're on the same wavelength. Because I just channeled that. I didn't even think about that before. That's cool. Kind of an end to 2020. Mary says, my mom feels happy too, excited with anticipation with lots of love. There's some gifts prepared for my 2.5-year-old niece. Yeah, that reminds me, I need to maybe go Christmas shopping. Maybe consider doing that. I'm so bad with Christmas gifts. I just like to give people presents whenever I see something. I don't necessarily like to wait for Christmas for these things. It just doesn't seem as natural to me anymore. But if Nana says I'm cooking and can't type much, but if my higher self or any being wants to suggest some spices for my soup, I would love that. That's so you could put so many spices in your soup. Let's see. The first thing is like some type of curry. And curry contains many spices, so I feel like that's all encompassing. Am I familiar with the history of connect? No, I'm not. Is that who you're connecting with right now, Claudia? So, wow, is your niece in New York City with you? Yes, curry. And maybe some sweet potato, if you have it, some type of potato. Or is it, I don't know if they're showing me like a yuca or I don't know if it's a yuca or a sweet or like a yellow potato. It's something like that. Have I noticed that my dog is having more dreams or jumping? I haven't noticed that. I feel like she often has a lot of dreams and jumping. What she is doing that's really annoying me recently is she's just like barking randomly. She just barks into the air, and I'm just like, who are you? What are you talking to? And I don't know what it is that she's trying to tell me, or if she's just releasing steam. But she probably wants to go outside more, and it's too cold right now. Yeah, I made some curry goat for Thanksgiving. I love curry too. So what else is going on, guys? Oh, okay. The soup calls for yuca. Yes, ask your mom. The soup sounds really good. Can you post a picture? Well, if you guys don't have any questions, then I'm gonna head out, but I will be back hopefully tomorrow. How am I grounded? I am feeling pretty grounded. I have a solid meditation practice that I feel keeps me aligned. And the only thing I would say is that I need more sleep. I need more sleep than normal, so I have to focus on that. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty grounded. I'm very consistent with my practice and using mantras, so I feel good about that. Yes, we're all getting hungry for soup, especially since it's so cold in New York. But that yuca, it sounds amazing. How do you know if you're grounded? For me personally, I feel very centered. I feel very at peace with myself because typically, if I'm feeling frantic, if I'm feeling like worried about the future or worried even about the past or connecting too much with a lot of people's energy and getting caught in other people's stories, and that's a reminder for me to go meditate and recenter myself. So that's what feeling grounded is like for me. Thank you, Jimena. I love interviewing and facilitating. I think it's the Sagittarius in me that I can just ask people a million questions and get them to go deeper. So that's so fun whenever I facilitate with Pamela. So when I'm grounded, I'm very present with myself. I'm not like worried about what happened before, and I don't have anxiety about the future. So that's for me personally. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I'll be back soon. Remember, I have the channeling with Amy Winehouse on Friday, this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. It will be recorded, and you can come on screen with me or on chat via Zoom. The link is in my bio, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you. Have a great Monday.